De Broglie gave his hypothesis. It is just a theory. Then comes Davison and Germer. These two scientists proved this hypothesis experimentally. They try to prove that electron have wavelength or not. Is it true? De Broglie hypothesis are true or not? So what they did, they take a setup like this. Here it is a electron gone. Here from this point electrons are ejected, and it is my nickel material, nickel crystal. Electron move in this way and they strike this nickel crystal and they scatter in different directions. It is the detector which detect the amount of electrons ejected in which direction. Okay, suppose I'll say in theta direction how much electrons are ejected. This detector detect that, capture that. Detector move in 360 degree in this way and record how much electrons are releasing in which direction. इस एंगल पे कितना इलेक्ट्रॉन है, इस एंगल पे कितना इलेक्ट्रॉन, इस एंगल पे कितना इलेक्ट्रॉन है, उसको ये डिटेक्टर मेजर करता है. राइट. नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन आर इजेक्टिंग मीन्स करंट, मतलब इस यहाँ पर कितना करंट है, इधर कितना करंट है, इधर कितना करंट है, ये इसको डिटेक्ट कौन करता है? दिस डिटेक्टर. This detector is moving along this nickel crystal in 360 degree. Okay, here we can vary the voltages. Okay, suppose I will say at 40 degree, मैंने इधर 40 डिग्री वोल्टेज सप्लाई किया, मैंने देखा किस एंगल पे कितना इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मुझे मिल रहा है. यहाँ पर कितना मैंने वोल्टेज कितना रखा है? 40 डिग्री. मैंने 40 डिग्री पे देखा कि भाई इधर कितना वोल्टेज है, इधर कितना करंट है, इधर कितना करंट है, इधर कितना करंट. हर एक एंगल पे मुझे करंट मेजर करना है. फिर मैंने क्या किया, उस वैल्यू को चेंज किया, 44 डिग्री सपोज 44 वोल्ट कर लिया. अब मैंने 44 वोल्ट में फिर से मेजरमेंट किया कि भाई किस एंगल पे कितना करंट मिल रहा है. इसी तरह से मैं वोल्टेज को वेरी करता रहा और करंट को मेजर किया किस एंगल पे कितना करंट मुझे मिल रहा है. यही है उनका एक्सपेरिमेंट. क्यों ऐसा एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है? लुक, वी नो इन डिफ्रैक्शन फिनोमेना व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन द लाइट पास थ्रू ए स्लिट. Light pass through a slit. After passing through a slit, when they collides on the screen, it's my screen, it's my slit, it is my source. Right? Source light pass through the slit and fall on the screen. On the screen, at this point, I get the central maxima, and then value decreases. Right? In this way value decreases. So that means here the value of light is maximum, then here the value decreases gradually, and again it comes to 0 and again it increases. This is the phenomena of diffraction. Diffraction pattern of light can only be explained if we consider light as a wave. Right? If we consider light as a wave, then can we explain this diffraction phenomena we have studied in the previous chapter. Right? Okay. If we throw the electrons here and detect the pattern when they are colliding with this screen, with this nickel crystal, and they are detected in the screen here. They are detected in their electrons are moving here, they are bombarding in the nickel crystal, and they are collected over this screen. On the screen, if we get the diffraction pattern, then I can say that electron has wave nature. That means if इसका मतलब क्या है भाई, स्क्रीन के ऊपर अगर मुझे कुछ यहाँ इस सपोज एक जगह पे मुझे ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन मिल रहा है और एक जगह पे कम इलेक्ट्रॉन और एक जगह पे बहुत कम इलेक्ट्रॉन और एक जगह पे बहुत कम इलेक्ट्रॉन मिलेगा. इधर भी सेम पैटर्न, ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन कम इलेक्ट्रॉन कम इलेक्ट्रॉन. इस तरह से अगर मिलेगा कि भाई एक जगह पे बहुत ज़्यादा इलेक्ट्रॉन, एक जगह पे थोड़ा कम और एक जगह पे और थोड़ा कम, इस तरह से अगर पैटर्न मुझे मिल रहा है, दैट मीन्स इट इज़ डिफ्रैक्शन पैटर्न. ये कब पॉसिबल होगा? जब इलेक्ट्रॉन का वेव नेचर होगा तभी ये पॉसिबल होगा, क्योंकि पार्टिकल को अगर हम थ्रो करते हैं वो क्या करता है, एक ही जगह पे गिरता है, लेकिन वेव क्या करता है, स्प्रेड हो जाता है, वेव स्प्रेड्स बट पार्टिकल स्ट्राइक्स एट अ सिंगल पॉइंट, right? So if electron has particle nature, then it will strike at a particular point, but if a electron has wave nature, it will spread, right? So in this experiment we have this scientist Davidson and Germer try to study the pattern of distribution of electrons, and he observed मझे 5 मिनट खंड कटा हम मझे चित्र फिर कर पज नहीं। In this experiment, what they did? They provide a voltage, suppose for 40 volt. They measure the current in different angles. At different angles, what is the value of current? At different angles, what is the value of current? Suppose I'll say when the voltage was 40 volt, potential was 40 volt, at 10 degree current was suppose at 0 degree current was let's say 0 ampere. At 10 degree current was 2 ampere. At 20 degree current was 4 ampere. At 30 degree current becomes 5 ampere. Like this they get a data. By this data they try to draw a graph between angle and current, theta and phi and current, and the graph look like just like this. It's just a straight line curve graph, straight curve graph, there is no diffraction pattern here. Then he changes the voltage. He at 54 volt, at 54 volt miracle happens here. He observed that at 54 volt the graph look like this. Graph look like this, right? At when the voltage was 54 volt, the graph looked like this, and this peak value was observed when the angle was 50 degree. When phi was 50 degree. When phi was 50 degree, he observed that here they get the peak. And here gradually the value of current is decreasing. Here the value of current is decreasing. So value of current is decreasing gradually, and at this point he got the peak. That means it look like the diffraction pattern. It is looking like the diffraction pattern. So as this is looking like a diffraction as we get the diffraction pattern graph, I can say electron also have diffraction, electron will behave like a wave. Electron have wave nature. From this graph it is clear that electron has wave nature. Okay, mind this, at 54 volt and angle was 50 degree, phi was 50 degree. Okay, if electron has wave nature, what is the wavelength? According to this experiment, he calculated the wavelength. We know in diffraction pattern, it is a nickel crystal. Right? When the electron fall on the nickel crystal, they reflect. It is not obvious that electron will hit the surface only. There are lots of layers in the nickel crystal. Electron may hit the second layer or inner layers. If when the electron hit the inner layer, this distance is, suppose this distance between first layer and second layer, is suppose d. Okay, that means this will be D. This will be D, and this angle is theta. Then this part will be D sin theta, and this part will be D sin theta. Then the path difference equal to path difference will be equal to D sin theta plus D sin theta to D sin theta. We know from diffraction in previous chapter that 2D sin theta equal to lambda, path difference equal to lambda. That means here, what is D? D is this distance between two layers, and theta is the angle. Let's calculate theta. Here it is a nickel crystal. Light is falling here, and this light is making angle, suppose theta here, and this is reflected by angle phi. It is a reflected angle, that is equal to 50 degree, right? If that is theta, then this will be total is 180 degree, total equal to 180 degree. I can say theta plus phi equal to 180 degree. That means phi equal to, sorry, theta will 2 theta equal to 180 degree minus phi. That means theta equal to 180 degree minus phi by 2. That means 90 minus, sorry, 180 minus 50 by 2. That means 65 degree. So value of theta equal to 65 degree. Substituting this value here, you can say the distance between these two layers of a nickel crystal is 0.91. So I can substitute the value 0.91 and sin 65. Substituting all the values, I get the value of lambda equal to 1.65 Armstrong. 1.65 Armstrong. Substituting this sine value and all this, calculating everything, I got the value, that value of lambda equal to 1.65 Armstrong. From de Broglie hypothesis, we know the lambda equal to h by p. That means h by 2 MeV root over, where m is the mass of electron, is the charge of electron, V is the potential that we have given the potential, that is 54 volt. Substituting all the value of H, M, E and V naught, we got the value lambda equal to 1.66 Armstrong, which is nearly equal to this value, So that means experimental value is equal to the theoretical value of de Broglie. So from this we can say that de Broglie hypothesis is experimentally proved by Davison and Germer. So I can say that electron also have wave nature, electron also have wavelength. So from this equation it is clear, from this experiment it is clear that electron has particle nature as well as wave nature. So I can say electron has both dual nature. So I can say particles, matters have dual nature. The hypothesis of de Broglie was true. Let us discuss the last concept of this chapter, that is electron microscope. So the name is here electron microscope. So it is a type of microscope in which we use the electron wave concept. Okay, electron wave concept. So we have seen the microscope, simple microscope in patholabs, and in your biology lab we have seen the simple microscope. In that microscope we can see the object which is having a size of micrometer, right, 10 to the minus 6 meter. If an object is less than that size, suppose I'll say there is an object whose size is of order 10 to the power minus 9 meter, then I cannot see this object using simple microscope. Here I have to use some other type of microscope. Before going to electron microscope, let's understand what is the concept behind the how we can see a object. Okay, let's discuss how we can see a object. Look, suppose I'll say it is a object is there. I have to see this object. When I can see this object? When the light fall in the object and it reflect back to my eye, I can see the object then. Here the size of the object is bigger than the wavelength of the light. This look, the size of the object is bigger than the wavelength or size of the light. Suppose I will say there is a small object is here whose size is smaller than the wavelength of light. Okay, the particle size, I can say particle size smaller than size of light, or I can say wavelength of light. Then look, this is my wavelength of light. What will happen? The light is not striking the object. Light is not striking the object here. If there will be no the object, if the light will not strike the object, then I cannot see the object. It is very simple. I cannot see the object. Here to see the object or to resolve the object, to magnify the object, I have to use wave having smaller wavelength. Some different type of wave which will have smaller wavelength. So here comes to here we use electron because electron has smaller wavelength. By using electron we can see smaller object also, because wavelength of electron, I can say wavelength of electron is small, very small, right? So as the wavelength is very small, in front of this wave, if there is a small object, it will strike the object and reflect back. Then I can see the object. I can magnify the object. So to magnify very small object, we use here electron microscope. In electron microscope, electron behaves like a wave. So in electron microscope, we take the concept that electron is behaving like a wave. This is the concept of electron microscope.